Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 213. It is Friday morning, and I have not gone to sleep yet. I last left you as I was going into this casino, and I may have my time a little bit off, but I was in there for approximately 5 hours, so let's go back a few steps here and talk about what happened and how we came to this point. I did end up ahead about 2,400 yesterday, so that's one positive, moving in the right direction. The day before was a lot less than that, but still a positive, so we were okay with that. Coming into this session, I had dinner with the family, went back to the hotel, and I had played some slots there, and I was considering maybe playing some blackjack tonight and then maybe playing a little bit of poker after that. So what happened? So I go into this casino, I look at some slots, I find nothing to play, unless I don't remember and I have a voucher in my pocket somewhere, which is entirely possible, but I don't think so. So I end up finding a double deck table in the high limit area. Now, this table should have been closed hours ago, but it stayed open because I was there and because a couple other people were there. Otherwise, it wouldn't be open. I gotta tell you, the dealer that's currently on that table is making so many mistakes that the pit boss is standing right over her, watching her every move, because she's making, on double deck shoes, she's making multiple mistakes in a shoe. That's how bad her mistakes have been. So paying out 15s against 20s and all kinds of craziness. Most of her mistakes have been her wanting to pay someone out, which is not a bad thing here. But so I bought in for $500, and I spread from one hand at $50 to one hand at $500. And I know you've never heard me say this before, but I lost the whole 500 before I won a hand, and actually another couple hundred before I won my first hand. I had a situation where the first shoe was rising counts and pretty much lost every hand. That shoe, I was not alone at the table also, so things were going a little bit slower than I wanted, but there was some crazy stuff that happened. Over the next 3 hours or so, I bought in for a total of only $2,500, and I say that because that's only 5 times my top bet. So for me to only have bought in for that much tells you a couple things. Number one, I was very fortunate. Number two, there wasn't a lot of variance. Number three, the counts weren't very high, probably, and that's true. I probably placed my top bet 10 times or less in almost 5 hours, so that gives you an idea. So was I suffering? I was toiling. I don't know if I was suffering, but I was right on the edge of making money, not making money. Everything was up in the air the whole time. It was like a big mystery the whole time. At my low point, I was down 2,300, made a big comeback. There were some crazy things that happened along the way. There's an Asian lady comes to the table with $70, turns it into $5,000 and leaves. Another one, this guy comes to the table and everybody knows him, must be some kind of contractor or something, or own a company or something like that. He bought in for probably $6,000 initially, like rebuy, and was playing max bet on side bets. And at one point he hit a side bet that paid about $10,000 on the side bet, and he got all his chips and everything and kept playing. And let's just say about 2 hours later, he rebought again for another $5,700. I know that's a weird number, but it was $5,700 that he bought for. So he bought in for, let's say, 6 or 7 initially, He had 10,000 in front of him. After that, lost the 10,000, rebought again for another 5,700, and he was down to maybe 2,000 by the time I left. And it's odd because, as card counters, we'll buy in for the minimum that we need, so we stay under CTR levels, have less chips in front of us for various reasons. People like this, they're buying in for big amounts and they don't care. Holding up the whole table, buying in for way more than what he needs on a $50 table. And so he lost at least $10,000. The Asian lady came around a couple times and played a little bit here and there. I don't think she was doing anything special, but got very lucky. And then toward the end, it was me and one other guy. During the process, I gotta tell you, okay, so there was the Asian lady, there was the Hispanic guy, that's the people I just told you about. And then there was this black guy that sat next to me a lot of the time, and I was like his buddy, and he would want me to bet my side bet, so he'd like give me money to put on my side bet. A couple times he gave me a few bucks to put on top of my bet, which they didn't stop him from doing. They all seemed very familiar with each other, so whatever. So then eventually he lost his money, rebought for 1,000, lost his money, rebought for 500, lost that, rebought in for 200, lost that, bought in for like 35 or 40 at the end with 20, some five maybe, and some ones or something like that. It ended up losing that, and he's like, yeah, and the worst thing is I'm supposed to be driving to this city, which is about 3 hours from here right now, to pick something up, which I imagine I know what it is, but I don't know. I was like, oh, you got to drive tonight. I'm like, are you a truck driver? And he was like insulted by that. And then I have to pick something up. Okay, where do you have to go? Okay, you got to pick something up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, 3 hours away, and you can't tell me what it is, that you're not a truck driver, you're not a delivery driver. Huh, okay. So he ended up finally leaving. Another guy at one point tells the pit boss, if I'm here at 2 o'clock, tell me to get out of here. And they did. At 2 o'clock, they told him to leave, but that was hours ago. Let me think here. And then this last guy that I sat with, I'd say mid-30s, black guy, plays very oddly. He actually split 2 twos against the face card, and he never hits 15, he never hits 16. He actually caused me a few problems along the way where I had big hands that I would have won, I ended up losing. And then at the end, the best hand at the end. So I'm down all this money, back up, back down, back up. I got within 300 or 400 probably 15 times, and I wasn't going to leave. I wasn't getting any heat. The pit boss loved to talk to me, kept coming over, and we were having long conversations with each other. Eventually I started getting close to even, within 500, and then I'm like, okay, so then at this point now I have a big negative count, and he saw me betting high, and I said I need to leave, I got stuff to do. Then all of a sudden I'm betting low. So I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to bank this money, I'm not going to get into it. So I only have 4 bets. That's why I'm betting low. It's it doesn't matter. He either buys it or he doesn't buy it. But you know what I'm saying is, okay, this 2,000 I'm not touching. I'm only going to play with this 200, so I'm betting table minimum. When the truth is, we just had a ton of big cards come out, and so now it's a negative count, and I'm going to minimum bet level. So anyway, end up getting to the last hand, and I have a big positive count, and I have a bigger bet out there, and this guy next to me gets a 14. Now, he doesn't hit 15s, but he does hit 14s, but he didn't hit this 14. So he stays. I've got a 16. So I use that as a perfect opportunity to say, oh man, he's going to give me his 10. I don't want your 10. So, but according to the count, it's a positive count. I've got a 16 against the face card. I'm supposed to stay with a big positive count. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to take your bus card. I'm going to stay. And so the dealer has a face card, flips over a 2 for a 12, and flips over a face card for a 22. Shoe ends, and I'm happy. I count my chips, and I thought I was up 300, but it ended up being ahead only 100. But I was very happy. But I had too many chips to cash at this point. So I decided just to take some chips with me. I cashed out like 1,600. I've got 1,000 in my pocket, and I was on my way out, and I'm like, wait a minute. I know it's like really early in the morning, and I know that I need to get some sleep, and I have a meeting in like 4 hours. That is a team meeting, and I'm on call, and I need to get my work done that I would normally do after work because I'm normally playing during work. So I got to get this work done, and I have to be on this team meeting in the morning. But there's nobody around here, and there's slot machines here. So I went around and looked at the slot machines, and actually went into detail in all the slot machines. And I ended up, wait a minute here, make sure I got the right road here. Yeah, I ended up leaving ahead 27 on the slot machines. After all that, only $27 on the slot machines, only $100 on the blackjack, with a, I'm going to call it officially like a 4.5 hour session, spreading from 50 to 500. My low was minus 2,300. My high was plus 100. Stayed in that narrow range. I stayed mainly down between 1,200 and 2,000 most of the visit there, but I was patient. I considered leaving a few times when I had some runs and I got within like 300 or 400, but I said I got nowhere to go, nowhere to be, and might as well just go ahead and stay as long as I need to. So they were keeping the table open for us. The guy sitting next to me at the end there, I know was getting ready to leave. With me not being there, he didn't really have a reason to be there anymore. He was kind of just hanging out, so he's probably leaving now. So yeah, man, that's what happened. And I need to get to the hotel, get some sleep, wake up early, get on my team meeting, and then we're gonna go take a lap of the casino that's close to the hotel, and then we'll probably take a nap. I don't know, but that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, good morning, guys. It is 9 a.m. and did not get much sleep, maybe 3 hours. Got up and took care of a meeting. I was supposed to either be in a meeting about AI or the security team meeting, and I know the security team meeting always runs an hour long, or almost an hour. And the AI thing is recorded, so if it's going to be recorded anyway, I have all the information at my fingertips anytime I want it. So I volunteered to be in the AI meeting and did that instead. And right now I just left the hotel and walking over to the casino, see what we can get done. And then interesting thing, there's an event later on today that I can take advantage of because of my tier status. I'm going to do that, get some free food and stuff. I'm going to get that all planned out and, take advantage of it. So right now we're heading out to this casino, and we're going to do a better job today. I'll be back and let you know how it goes. All right, guys, I am back. More frustration in the nation. Man, I can't get anything going. Everywhere I'm going, I'm winning pennies, like literal pennies. I played another double deck, almost an hour, spreading from 50 to 250. Played as long as I could before conditions just got too bad to play. Never really went anywhere. Never got more than a true 2. Never got a chance to push any big bets out there, and ended my session ahead 150. Just no chance to make any money. So just more and more days like this lately. But we got to be happy, because at least we didn't lose. At least we have potential to make more money, and we'll keep grinding away. So what are you going to do? All I can do is my best. So yeah, man, it's all this driving around and then not being able to make money is a little bit aggravating, but that's okay. I also played a couple slots, and I ended that session ahead $33. So I'm up like what, 300 today. I've only been working for a couple hours, so I guess that's good, but the potential was so much better than that. Right now I'm outside heading to the car. Beautiful, just beautiful day. Almost clear skies, almost like an Arizona sky. 80 degrees outside. Doesn't feel too humid, so feels like a really nice day. Right now we're gonna head to another casino. Most likely no blackjack available there, and we'll see what we can do. Then we're going to go ahead to a small casino and see if we can find a play or two there, and then we'll head back this way and play blackjack on the next shift. And then there'll be a gift they're giving away today as well. We'll do that on our way out. Of course, if there's any kind of heat at all, you would never do that. But if everything is cool, I go in, no issue, go out, no issue, then I would do that. And we'll see what happens from there. I mean, it's frustrating, but at the same time, it could be so much worse. So we'll see. Beautiful day, 11:30 a.m. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back, and still no change. Man, I feel like I just need to maybe stop for a few hours or something. Went into that place, played some blackjack. Again, swing down right away. Get close to even. Table becomes unplayable. Pit boss is talking about card counters and how she catches card counters and stuff. Table becomes crowded. Leave the table plus 100. Slots, played a lot of slots, and ended ahead $74. Now, interestingly, I've never done this before, but I did it today. I decided I wanted a break, and I wanted to play a slot machine, but I didn't want to have any kind of cost to it. So I played a 1 cent 100 play poker machine. And I played that for about 10 minutes, and that kind of relaxed my mind a little bit. I ended up making like maybe $8 or something on it, but it wasn't about that. It was just about like just slowing my roll, and I don't know, get more focused, get more relaxed, I don't know. So plus 100 more on the blackjack. At this rate, we're never going to make any money. Plus 74 on the slots, heading to another casino. This one's going to be slots mainly, and then we're going to head back to the first blackjack casino of the day, and we're going to play blackjack there on the next shift, and we're going to pick up a gift, and then we're going to go to their sister property and do the same thing there, hopefully, although their blackjack tables may not be open. So living in misery, but still making a little at a time. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. It is a nice day outside. Nice sky, a few fluffy clouds, very bright out, nice warm day, but not like stifling hot. It's not too humid. Just leaving this place, and what can I say? I mean, I would say at some point people are going to start saying that didn't happen, because it's like carbon copy. Everything is a carbon copy of, you guys don't even know what carbon copy means, of what just happened at the casino before, and the one before that, and the one before that, and same situation. This time, slot machines get involved right away on my first play. I'm down like 340 on the first play, and it was like a $2 play, and it was just like ridiculous. It was such an easy play, you know, at my home casino. It's a very simple play. It doesn't take long. 10 spins, 15 spins, you're done. And that just was not meant to be here. Anyway, so I lose like 340, 50 on that one. And I'm steaming mad. I'm like, to come to this tiny little place and just hand them money when I know what I'm doing, and I just get this bad variance. I was very frustrated, and ended up, I'm talking about combing through everything, going machine to machine, checking everything. I was on a mission. I was not going to leave down, and I know that that's not always the best thing. I did have enough time to do that though today, so I do have probably an hour to spare even. So let me see here, where am I going? This place here. Hopefully the sound is off. It is. Okay. So I'm grinding and grinding and grinding, and I'm involved as much as 800. I'm down as much as like 550, but I've got 800 in the machine because it was a bigger play, and I end up hitting that. I end up getting up. Man, I can't believe I just forgot the numbers. Okay, I was ahead $19 or $16, and so I'm on my way out, and I noticed that I don't have internet. So all this time that I've been in here, I thought I'm showing up at work as you know, on my teams, but I'm not. So I end up moving around, finding a better place, and reconnected, and that reset the clock and gave me a little bit more time. And I was getting ready to leave. I found another play, played that, and now I'm ahead like 30, 31, somewhere in there, and I'm leaving. And I look over and I see this other play, and I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a play. It's going to take a minute, but it's a play. So it was $1 a spin, and I knew it was going to take 200 or 300 spins to hit, but I was up for it, and I played it through, and I ended my session ahead $119. So another agonizing $100 bill, but money is money. So the lady next to me was like watching me in awe. How did you know that was going to happen? Well, I can't really tell you. Anyway, at this point, I'm going to head back to the casino I played blackjack at first this morning. The new shift comes in 35 minutes. So by the time I get in there, look at slots, get settled in, that should be there. I'm going to try to play at least an hour of blackjack if I don't get interrupted or have any issues. And hopefully we have a good session. And then we'll go get our free gift. And then we'll travel to the other one, get our free gift there. Hopefully get some good slot sessions in there. That one specifically has some machines that aren't available in other places around here, so they're usually left untouched because people don't understand them. So maybe able to pick up some extra money there, and then we'll figure out what to do from there. So right now we have 2 casinos in line, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. Alright, you're gonna think I'm joking here, but this is the truth. This is the honest truth. 100% truth. I go into this place, I see a play right away on a machine that's about $4 a spin. Takes me 2 spins to hit it. I'm up like $50 on slots. Play a couple other ones, I end up ahead like $61 on slots. Okay, that's fine. Let's go play some blackjack. Go to the blackjack area, sit down, double deck table. First buy-in, 0 winning hands. Second buy-in, I start winning some hands. I lose that. Third buy-in, I'm in now 1,500, and I'm in that money for like an hour or so, and then big count comes. I start losing. Rebuy. So I want 500, 500, 500, 500. That's 2,000, and then I want 1,000 and 1,000, and things finally leveled off. But I was stuck at like $200 left out of 4,000 for a long time, and then I built up a little bit, and then it went back, and then real early on I got real close to even, like within $150, and I had a big count and just got smashed at the end of that shoe, and I was stuck there for a long time after that. Overall, up and down, but I kind of felt like it was going to be good, and I kind of enjoyed myself a little bit for the first time on this trip. Up until now, I felt like I was really being examined. They're always coming up, talking to you, trying to get information. Where are you from? What do you do? Why are you in town? It's like, good night. What? You don't need to know all this information. I don't want to be rude here, but you know. So you're doing your count, and you're putting your bets out. You're doing your basic strategy. You're talking to the pit boss. You know, answering all kinds of questions, and you know, show me this and let me show you that, and it's like, my gosh. So anyway, there were 3 tables. I moved from one table to another because the new dealer was so slow, and she couldn't add. Like, it would take her like 5 or 6 seconds to add up a hand. So after about 20 minutes of that, I'm like, well, you're definitely not the brake runner, so if you're the regular dealer, I'm moving. I moved over to another table and just had like the most interesting session. I know that sounds weird, but it really is the most interesting session. Overall, I was doing pretty well, and the big counts were bringing good results for the most part. I mean, there were a lot of spots, obviously, but I never felt like I was out of it. I never felt like I was gonna lose it. I never felt like I was threatened by the casino or anybody backing me off or telling me to leave or half shoeing me or anything like that. So I felt more comfortable in that session. And that pit boss is interesting because you remember I talked about playing poker with the Chinese lady. She had her underground poker game recently, like a year ago or something like that. I still have her number, by the way. She wants to go to the casino with me again. But this lady reminds me of her. She looks just like her. I mean, they could be sisters. They're so close. Anyway, up and down, back and forth. And then after about 2.5 hours or so, I'm still sitting there struggling, trying to get it back. And I'd get within 100, and I'd have a $200 bet and lose it, and then lose 2 or 3 back to back. And now I'm down 1,000, and back and forth and back and forth. And that part of it was a little bit exhausting because I was ready to go, and they weren't ready to let me go. But in the end, I ended up leaving ahead after just over 2.5 hours. You know the amount. Yep, I know. Yep, you know the amount. Plus 100. I've never been anything like this before. There's the end of the shoe. What am I supposed to do? Keep going? You know? So, here's the other thing is now I just cashed out 2,100. I still have 2,000 more in chips, and I need to wait for the shift change to happen, which is like 4 hours from now. So am I on the right road? Yeah, 4.5 hours from now. So I'm going to take these chips with me, and we're going to go to their sister property as scheduled. Oh, we did get our prize, which is a really cool, unusual thing that no other casino I know of does this. And then this other place is going to have something very similar as well. So we're going to go grab that, play a little slots, and if we're lucky, it's Friday. If we're lucky, they might have the high limit open. Maybe we play some blackjack. Who knows? Who knows? If you want to make $1,000 in this town, you got to go to 10 casinos. But let's see how we go to the next place. I'm feeling a little bit better. Still a little exhausted, and don't know what to do. But I think after this one, I'm going to go back to my hotel and relax for a few minutes, and maybe if there's not a long list, maybe play some poker. So I do eventually have to come back here tonight to cash these chips. I'm thinking about leaving in the morning. I just feel like there's not really much for me in this town. I got a long drive home, and I just want to spend some time with the family. I feel like I have better places closer to me than this. And my wife said, "Is it worth it?" And I said, "Well, it wasn't really worth it, but I need to have a backup for when my other stuff falls through and I have nowhere else to go. Sure, it's a long drive. Sure, I don't want to do it. Sure, I don't want to be away from my family. But the choice is to do that or not to be able to play. So I have to start finding alternatives and better ways of doing things." So, all right, guys, that's all for now. I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back and just got back to my room. Oh, man. Went to that next casino, and it was jam-packed with people. So many people in there. Most machines were full. People walking around, noise, smoke, everything going on at the same time. And I ended up playing a few plays, and I was ahead like 120. And I was on my way out. And as I was leaving, I was checking some other machines, and I found this other one I wanted to play. And this one was at about $5 a spin. And the upside potential was like $800 or $900 profit easily. And played it through, probably took about 500 or 600 spins to play this. And just paid out in the worst possible way. But I ended up ahead on it slightly. And I ended up leaving the casino ahead 188. Also got a gift and all this other stuff. So everything was cool. What are you going to do? I mean, what do we make today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800. Not great at all, but what are you going to do? Right now I'm going to rest for a few minutes, then we're going to go to this casino, take a look around, come back to the room, head back to the casino I played blackjack at in a little while, right after the shift change, and we're going to get the rest of these chips cashed, and then we'll figure out our day for tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll probably be heading home. So did not get much sleep last night, so try to get a little bit of sleep so I can drive all these hours home. But right now, first thing I'm going to do is rest up a little bit, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back, and I took a little nap in the room, and I feel a lot better. Right now, it is 2 a.m., and just leaving the room, and we're heading out to the casino to cash some chips. Today's going to be our last day in the area, so I want to make sure I get all this stuff taken care of. Let's do our segments, and we'll start a new episode. What did you eat today, MW? Well, just a couple hours ago, maybe 4 hours ago, I got whatever it was. So let me think. I guess 9, 10, 11, 12. I guess I took about a 4.5 hour nap there. So much needed nap. But before that, I went to Chipotle, got some a salad, chicken, all that normal stuff that I get. It was really good, hit the spot. Man, that thing was gone so fast. I hadn't eaten the whole day. So it was like 9 p.m. when I got my first meal of the day. I give it a 10 on a scale of 2 through ace. And what did you tip today, MW? And, all my blackjack today or yesterday was all small sessions, big swings, and you would think I'd be really grateful and give some nice tips, but in the end I ended up tipping $0. And why would I ever tip? Why would I tip these guys when I'm going to see them maybe once a year? If they remember me, if they don't remember me, all that. I mean, come on, what's the point of just handing them free money? You wouldn't walk up to someone on the street and hand them free money just so they would like you. So, $0 in tips. And what did you learn today, MW? I learned that my feeling down can be turned around pretty quickly with a good session of blackjack. If variance is on my side, it can put me in a lot better mood, get me going again, giving me positive energy. Every once in a while, when you're getting dragged through the mud, you need a little bit of positive variance to help pick you up, and that's what I got. Even though in the end I ended up only making a little bit of money on each table, that last session was a real pick-me-up because I wasn't getting completely destroyed. I was losing a lot of the time, and it was my biggest losing session at the low point, but I never felt like I was out of it because at least the way that the cards were coming out were more realistic than sometimes when you're losing 10 or 12 hands in a row and it's by one, and it's just a killer. So anyway, who knows if I know what I'm talking about right now. So I'm going to let you go, and we'll pick up a new episode. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.